Okay, so here are a couple of guitars that I own. The one closest to me, the one on the bottom, would be a recent acquisition from about a month or so ago. It is a Taylor 214 CE, which is um, a Mexican-made Taylor guitar. I've made some encouragements to it. And the one in the back, the dark one, the one that appears to be mahogany, is a Fender guitar that was manufactured in Korea back in the mid-1980s. And I've made very few changes to it, but we'll go over what happened here. So first of all, to look at the Taylor guitar, you will notice it's gold. Well, when I got it, it wasn't gold. When I got this thing, it was actually silver. And if you look here, you will see the silver machine heads. I took them off and put them in this Taylor box. And also, if you see here, you'll notice a bag of gold screws. I'm having trouble focusing on them, but that bag of gold screws was replaced the silver screws that were on the truss rod cover. And further, you will see here is that is a one gold and one silver button from my strap. The one gold one is now on the guitar. I don't know if you can see it because it's dark down there, but let me turn it up. There we go. That's gold. It used to be silver, and I've replaced it, fortunately. And I think that's a bit of improvement. Also, probably you can't see it, but right there the truss rod cover is now made out of mahogany, and originally it was made out of plastic. And I thought for a guitar of this quality that it deserved to be all wood and not to have any plastic on it whatsoever, except for a few things that I couldn't change. You'll also notice the bone nut on the top, and on the bottom you'll notice here that I changed the white plastic bridge. You'll see it here. This was the original one right there. I put it inside of the package where the black one came, and now you'll see that the new one is black plastic. Is the only plastic I think pretty much left on the guitar. You'll also notice here there are 6 black plastic pins, string pins, and in the guitar here you'll notice that there are actually 6 mahogany pins with some fancy little pieces in the top of them so that it shines a little bit more than it did when it came here from the factory. So that's about that. There's no way to change the rear back strap button because that's built into the system for recording and playing through the amplifier with a little button and a 9-volt battery. So there's nothing I could do about that. That had to stay plastic, and that was all that I could do. So what did I do with this when I put it together? Well, when I took the head apart, I took some files that I got from StewMac years ago, and I filed down the the small pieces there in the nut. I filed them down, oh, I don't know, probably less than a 64th of an inch. I just filed them and rounded them so that the strings would go through, and then I put some graphite from a graphite pencil in the holes and put them back on. And then coming down here to the piece that I replaced in the bridge, I took that and I filed that down substantially. I used my micrometer to keep on top of it, and I filed down quite a bit off the off of the new piece, and I put it in and kept filing it down and kept filing it down, and continued checking how the string height would work over and over again. It was quite time consuming. Keep putting the string back in and taking the string back out, until finally I got to a place where the action is somewhat similar to what you might find on an electric guitar. I also replaced the strings. The high E string is a 10 gauge, and so it's a standard set of the ultralight acoustic guitar strings, but instead of having 11, there's a 10 in there, and that makes the guitar highly playable. So if you want it to be like background with an acoustic guitar player, and you wanted to play some background riffs behind them, this would be quite the guitar to do that with. It sounds beautiful. The action is unbelievable. So that's something that you could give a try to. Now, also on this here old 1985 guitar, which I did, as I said, some upgrades to, I filed down. I filed down the bridge piece there as much as I could, and did the same thing with the nut, filing down as much as I could to lower it. And the strings on this guitar were not the strings, excuse me, the machine heads that came with this guitar were absolute garbage. They were like something that you would find on a $125 guitar. And I think I paid $150 for this. $150. I think I paid about $450 for this thing when I bought it. It is a Fender Newporter, and it's at the time was probably one of the better Fender guitars out there. I don't know if you can see the name on the bridge, but we'll give it a try. This is where it says Fender Newporter, and the machine heads I replaced with a set of Grovers. Now, I don't know if that's possible for you to see on this thing or not. I'll try to bring it in as slowly as I can. But these were a set of Grovers that I bought for this guitar back in probably 1990. And these strings in these machine heads at that time, they cost me something in the range of I think between about $60, but I could be off by $10 in either direction. I also replaced the string trees, which I was also not proud of, and those are roller string trees that are on there now. So the break angle through the top of the guitar here, you'll notice the break angle for the strings here is very, very, very high. So we'll try it here if you can see that. That's pretty high. They're all the same all the way across from front to back. The break angle is identical. And this guitar, again, has the same size strings as my fancy new Taylor guitar. But it also has very similar action, and it also plays like an electric guitar. The problem with this guitar is I have no way to effectively electrify it. The reason I can't electrify this thing is simply because I can't put the piece underneath the bridge there because there's no room. It's so tight fitting in there that there's just no way I can effectively get some kind of a device through there where I can make some decent recordings. So the only way to amplify it would be to put something in through on the inside of the guitar, and as of yet I haven't developed the nerve to do that. So that guitar will stay roughly as is. I like it as an acoustic only. It's really comfortable to play. This brand new Taylor guitar that I got just less than a month ago is extraordinarily comfortable to play, and I like it now that it's gold because there's nothing prettier to me than a gold acoustic guitar. So there you have two of my better acoustic guitars. I have two others. I also have an Ovation acoustic guitar. And those are my only real acoustic guitars, besides the fact that if you hold on a second here, I have an ES-335 copy, which is a Hagstrom, which I love to play. It's extremely comfortable. So, this is one of my earlier videos explaining a couple of my guitars and choices, and I will make more videos later. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these guitars and getting to meet them. So have a wonderful wonderful day off, and hope everyone does well today. Bye-bye.